Hello and welcome to the news at 6 here on Joy 99.7 FM. This bulletin is also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Nkiligi FM, Bolik, Bewa Radio, Yendi, Mighty FM, Tamale, and ATL FM in Cape Coast. We are also available around the world at myjoyonline.com. Coming up, former chairman of the Anti-Galamsey Committee, Professor Kwabena Frimpong, says he feels victimized over his invitation by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, which later turned into an arrest.
What have I done wrong in this country? If 0.001% of people behave like what I've done, this country will not be the way it is. I bought a whole hospital, trained people.
Majority Leader calls on MPP caucus in Parliament to take a decision on whether Finance Minister Kenneth Oriata should be removed from office by the President.
That one, it will have to be determined by the caucus. So let's leave it to what determination that the caucus comes to.
And coming up in business.
First, IMF program review to take place for Ghana in November. We have details on some targets it should meet. The country should meet by June ending to secure a second tranche of funds. Details on the Joy Business Report.
And later we'll tell you about the secret weapon Bompe Senior High Technical School as they grab the last slot in the Western Region qualifiers.
All I will say is we are coming. No strategy. We are coming.
Meanwhile, 12 schools will scramble for 3 slots in the Western North qualifier later today. My name is Elton Brobe. To our first story, and former chairman of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Professor Kwabena Frimpong says he feels victimized over his invitation by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, which later turned into an arrest for which he was granted a 2 million Ghana cedi bail. He said he was surprised by the treatment meted out to him, given his selfless contribution to the country. Speaking on an exclusive interview with Joy News on the back of reports of his arrest and subsequent release 2 weeks ago by the Special Prosecutor, the revered House Surgeon recounted his experience.
As we go along in life in this country, others who have the power now or who have the influence now should know that at some point they should also they will held accountable for what they are doing.
Do you feel you're being victimized?
I think so.
Why do you think so?
What have I done wrong in this country? If 0.001% of people behave like what I've done, this country will not be the way it is. I bought a whole hospital, trained people, Ghanaians, heart surgeons, trained people from Nigeria, Ethiopia, changed Kolebu after Gorgesberg and Nkrumah. Frimpong was the person who added structures and systems to Kolebu, with internally generated funds, not money from the government. When people get power and they think they can do whatever they like, I think it's very sad.
President Frimpong also insists a field close to the President Chebi residence was used for illegal mining activities.
If we vegetated that field, if we had planted cocoa, it would have been yielding fruits by now, after 3-4 years. So it's not that you go there and you find pits, freshly dug pits and gullies and so on. This happened 4 years ago. The place was cleared, vegetated. And so what I'm saying is that it happened.
According to the traditional authorities, there's no evidence that the president's garden was affected by illegal mining.
I don't want to argue with them. If they say it wasn't affected, I'm saying that concerned that in a field near the president's house, somebody was doing something illegal.
Former chairman of the Anti-Galamsey Committee, Professor Frimpong Boateng. Majority Leader Ose Chairman Sabons is asking the MPP Majority Caucus in Parliament to take a stand on the fate of Finance Minister Kenneth Oriata. More than 80 MPP MPs last year stirred controversy when they demanded the removal of the Finance Minister from office. The President promised to relieve Mr. Oriata from his post after he secures the IMF deal. Despite the approval of the Ghana's $3 billion bailout by the International Monetary Fund, the minister remains at post. But the Majority Leader Ose Chairman Sabons said the entire Majority Caucus must engage to know the way forward on the issue.
Ghana must go uprising. That one, it will have to be determined by the caucus. So let's leave it to what determination that the caucus comes to. As you rightly said, it was started by a few people. It became the position of the entire caucus. The entire caucus may have to engage to see what it is that must be done.
Also, Chairman Sabonsu is the majority leader. To some other stories now, and the principal research scientist at the Council for Scientific Building and Road Research Institute, Professor Francis Afuka, says male drivers are more likely to perish in road accidents as compared to female drivers. According to research findings, 85% of women comply with basic road safety regulations such as buckling their seat belts before driving. He spoke to Joy News at the Bloomberg Initiative for Global Road Safety Workshop.
From the observation study, the female drivers are doing far, far better in terms of seatbelt use than the males. We have more than 85% of female drivers using their seatbelts in Accra, compared to as low as about 65% males using seatbelts, which is not good. Women drivers who want to go through the rudiments of how to drive by going to driving school, formal driving schools, whereas men will use the back door to learn how to drive.
And to our potholes series, and with state institutions failing to patch potholes, some residents of Bokrom in Kumasi are filling up the holes with coconut husks. The residents say the poor nature of the road is causing serious accidents. Love FM Nana Boachi Yadom exposes the hazardous Bokrom pothole ridden road for Joy News.
Here you go. Government serving us. In fact, drivers here were the best. One road, several potholes. But some things need to be said in 10. A good number of roads in Ghana are left with dangerous potholes. Major road networks in Kumasi are no exception, as the roads are inundated with deep circular depressions. Some motorists have experienced the damages that go beyond mechanical repairs in these craters. The well-adorned road is now a death trap with praiseworthy traffic growth. Potholes have developed on this road. They refuse to work on just this particular stretch. We've complained so much about the traffic over here. It is obvious that these potholes are fast developing into manholes, putting the lives of motorists and commuters at risk. But state institutions in charge of covering them up show up at work and do nothing about it. To some of these road users, this is a life-threatening pit.
Almost there 3 months, 2 accidents.
I came across an accident almost a month ago. As government institutions yawn on patching up the holes, some residents fill the riddled bitumen with debris to lessen the impact of vehicles slumping into holes. Sometimes they attempt to fill these holes with just anything, sometimes with coconut husk.
Nana Boachi Yadom filed that report from Bokrom near Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Imagine an app that can utilize artificial intelligence to detect malaria-causing mosquitoes right at the breeding ground. Imagine this transforming the way we deal with malaria completely. Now stop imagining and feel on the reality. Government already is in talk with the Israeli firm to develop Zap Malaria. There's more in this Tech Thursday report.
The U.S. wire service Bloomberg, which first reported the interest from Ghana, says the app, Zap Malaria, uses cutting-edge artificial intelligence technology to identify and treat water bodies where malaria-carrying mosquitoes breed. Zap Malaria can also deal with malaria from its source. It leverages satellite imagery to identify mosquito breeding grounds and predict the formation of new ones. One notable aspect of Zap's solution is its cost effectiveness, with an annual cost of approximately $1 per person in urban areas, comparable to the expense of bed nets, a commonly used preventive measure.
And that was a News Desk report. Now, before we go, in a captivating display of determination and skills, Bompe Senior High Technical School left their competitors astonished as they claimed the last available spot in the Western Regional Qualifiers. With a good combination of knowledge, wits, and their secret weapon, they promised to make a mark in this year's contest. There's more by my colleague, Michael Ashele.
All I will say is we are coming. No strategy. We are coming.
No strategy is from God. No, there are no strategy. We can't create. It's not our strength, But
everyone has God, right?
Yes, everyone. And this is a game. And
no one knows the hunter secrets.
Yes.
And later today, 12 schools will compete for the available 3 slots in the Western North qualifiers. The stage is set, the stakes are high, and the battle for qualification promises to be as gripping display of wit, intelligence, and determination. Catch all the details on myjoyonline.com and our social media channels. Well, that's it for the news at 6 here on Joy 99.7 FM. For more stories, log on to our website, myjoyonline.com. My name is Elton Bob. The Super Morning Show continues with Kojo Jansen.